Are you ever wondering, are you ever thinking, how is my friendship, how is my relationship with my partner, with my wife, with my fiance, with my friends, with my co-workers, and how you might build and nurture the relationship to become stronger, to become more of a bond, so you understand each other, so you get along better, so you get along well. Well, in this video, I'm going to be explaining simple, effective tactics so that you can help build, nurture, and develop a healthy and powerful relationship. Number one is understanding the foundations. You need to build and you need to have a solid foundation with whoever you want to do this with, and whoever you want to build this relation up with. You need trust, you need respect, and you need communication. All these factors are really important because without one another, it can really deteriorate the relationship and break down, especially if you don't trust each other. How are you going to get along? How are you going to be able to do stuff if you're arguing? If you lack communication, how are you going to effectively get stuff done? And that can also lead to more argument. And also respect. You just need to respect, just understand each other. Next, it's effective communication. Learning to understand both sides of the argument is one factor of effective communication. Not just being so one-sided and just being so stubborn, just being like, no, I'm right, I'm 100% right, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, you can be like that, but as long as you understand where they're coming from and you understand why they are thinking like that, what causes them to think like that. And you don't want your argument and you don't want your points just to be so one-sided, because one way of being an effective communicator is being able to say, like, oh, but this is why your point is invalid, or why I disagree with it, not just kind of rambling on why yours is just better without referring to the other person's argument or point. One point of effective communication is also just being open, having that trust to just say whatever you want to them, whenever you want to them, without being scared of any consequences. Next is setting boundaries. You need to know what you are comfortable, what you are not comfortable with. And this includes knowing each other's boundaries, which is pretty straightforward, but a lot of people tend to just cross them, tend to just be a bit too experimentative, and they can make someone feel uncomfortable. So this really ties into having an effective communication with your partner or with the person you're trying to build a healthy and powerful relationship. So this is where you have to talk to them, ask them, what are you comfortable with? What are you not comfortable with? What do you like to talk about? What do you not like to talk about? And then from there, you know what each other's boundaries are. You know that you're not going to come off as intrusive or invasive to anyone. And that you're not just going to be like, oh yeah, but I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And then you're just then they're feeling like really anxious. And it's just like they're feeling intrusive, or like you're interrogating so much about their personal life. And they're like, oh no, I don't like that. So you got to know when to also be aware. You got to be aware of when to stop. And another is spending quality time and supporting each other. Support and engagement is important. You need to be there, and you need to be able to support the person you're trying to build a relationship with through the easy and through the hard times. You got to show that you're there for them, that you're there to help them. And you got to spend time with them, just going out with them, maybe talking with them on text. But you don't want to be excessive where it takes up your whole life, and then now your whole lifestyle is revolved around talking to this person, because with one of the points I mentioned, if you have effective communication, you won't need to spend your whole time talking to them. You can just effectively just say stuff and they'll understand, and you can keep going with your life, and you don't have to change your entire lifestyle to fit this person in your life. Next is self-care and independence. Just how I was talking about effective communication, you need to be able to tell the person you're trying to build a relationship with that perhaps today you don't want to hang out today. Perhaps you want to hang out with your friends. And that also comes with trust, respect, and having some sense of independence. Because what you need to remember is that although you have the best partner in the world, they help you with everything, they're great, they're awesome, like everything just works, you guys flow together, you guys respect. At the end of the day, no matter what happens, you have yourself and it's just you. And you need to understand that no one is going to help you. No one can save you for the rest of your life. And yes, maybe luckily you can find a partner and build a relationship with someone who you spend the rest of your life with until you die. And that's great. That's exactly what we want to achieve from this video. How to build a trusting and beautiful relationship with someone. And if you do that, it's exactly what we want. And my last point is apologies and forgiveness. You need to learn when something is your fault in life, and you need to accept that. Because when it comes to life and just doing anything, you are going to make mistakes, and you need to be open about it. This comes in with effective communication, so that you are effectively communicating with them. You're telling, sorry, I accidentally messed up. I did this and that, which caused this and that. So now that you're telling them, you're being open, and that helps build another level of trust, that they are open, that you are open to them, and you are telling them that I'm accountable, I can own up to my mistakes, I can tell them. You gotta know when it is your fault, and you also gotta know when it's their fault, and it goes back and forth. Your partner needs to be able to identify when it's their fault and be accountable and be responsible for their problems, their things that are their fault in their life. And you gotta remember that any situation that you get yourself into, you can't blame anyone but yourself, because you got into that situation, whether it was by force, accident, intentionally, unintentionally, accidentally, as in you just didn't know what you got into, you just kind of agreed and you just kind of ended up there. Everything you do is your fault, and every action you do is your fault that you ended up doing it and getting you into a situation. But that's a whole different video I could go and rant on about. And I also mentioned forgiveness. You need to learn to forgive your partner. You can't be holding grudges on them forever. And I'm more talking about the more simple things. And no, I'm not talking about, say, if your partner just cheats on you, or even if you have a friend, you're trying to learn this video, trying to apply it to a friend that you have. Say if they snitch on you, if they lie really bad and get you in big trouble, right? You need to learn. You don't need to forgive in that instance, I understand, but you need to forgive to the point where you're not going to hold an internal grudge against them, and you can move on with your life onto something else, not move your life onto doing something with them. You can leave them behind, you can go do something else, but be at peace. Forgive them to the point where you can just go do something else that doesn't involve them. That's what I mean by forgiving. And also forgiving just for the small things. Don't hold grudges, there's no point. Just be at peace with yourself, because once it's done, and there's no reversing that. So those are my points on how to build a healthy and powerful relationship. And it's going to apply to everyone. You got to remember these points. You got to understand, 1, understand the foundations you have with them. 2, have effective communication. 3, setting boundaries with them. 4, spending quality time with them and / support and engagement with them. Number 5, self-care and independency. And number 6, apologizing and forgiveness. So I hope you guys learned something from today's video. And what you can do from today's video is, if you have a partner, if you have someone who you've been wanting to build a more relationship with, just shoot them a text, message them, say, oh, let's go hang out, let's go do something. And be open. But don't tell them your whole life either. But be open. Build that trust, set boundaries, and make sure you implement everything in this video, as that will help you build that relationship that will last a lifetime. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. And if you really liked my video, you can check more out down below. And also, there's a link for a counseling service if you feel like you want to chat more with me.